Google form. Through this Google form, you have to submit student informations. Okay. 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 This is the form. Okay. So basically, I think সবাই মনে হয় দিয়ে দিছো, just যে মিস করছে এটা just ফর্মটা আপলোড করে দিবে. Okay. Okay. So next, workspace Slack-এর যে লিংকটা, the link is given in BUX. Okay. So just you can add yourself. I think invitation is given to join the Slack. And next is the class link. Okay. And here is the section 3 Google Meet link. Okay. Then next is Google Calendar. Okay. You can also get notification from this Google Calendar. Okay. So here only classes are given, but maybe the quizzes and also assignments will be included in Google Calendar. Okay. Okay. Then next is basically about your lecture. Okay. So do you have any question about the different parts of your courses?
No.
Okay. Okay, then let's go to the lecture. Anyone here watched first lecture? Okay, no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first topic is coordinate system. Okay. So what is coordinate system and why we introduce coordinate system here? This is the basic question. So basically, coordinate systems are important in case of physics because we are dealing about the motion of an object or position of an object. So if we try to explain some motion of an object, we have to find out particularly reference. Okay. So then if we try to find out the position of an object from a reference point, then we have to introduce some coordinate system. Okay. So here 3 coordinate systems are, first one is Cartesian coordinate system, second one is polar coordinate system, and third one is cylindrical coordinate system. Okay. Okay. So here we will discuss briefly about cylindrical coordinate system, but details about Cartesian coordinate system and polar coordinate system, because this Cartesian coordinate system and polar coordinate systems are important here. Okay. Okay. So Cartesian coordinate systems is basically 2-dimensional and also 3-dimensional. Okay. In case of 2-dimensional coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system, coordinate is described by xy, and 3-dimensional is xyz, and all of the coordinates are perpendicular each other. Okay. In case of 2-dimensional, just like that, this is a 2-dimensional coordinate system. Just there is the origin, and x and y both are perpendicular each other, and the coordinate is described by, say, this is a point, this point, and can be described by xy. Okay. Xy. And in case of 3-dimensional coordinate system, x, y, z. Okay. The 3-dimensional coordinate system. And in case of 3-dimensional coordinate system, coordinates are x, y, z. So in this case, x, y, z are perpendicular each other. But another thing is that in case of drawing of the z coordinate, we have to follow the conventional right hand rule. Okay. So right hand rule, if we move rightward from x to y, the z coordinate system is upward direction. Okay. So that's why the conventional method is we have to follow the right hand rule. Okay. In case of drawing the coordinate system x, y, z. Okay. Okay. Then polar coordinate system is, in case of polar coordinate system, the coordinate is r theta, which is basically r represent the magnitude of the vector or particular part, and theta represent the direction of the object, okay, the direction of the vector. Okay, so this r represent the magnitude and theta represent the direction. Okay, so r theta is the polar coordinate system, and in cylindrical coordinate system, this is r theta and z. Basically, this is three-dimensional coordinate system, r theta z. So we will explain Cartesian coordinate system and polar coordinate system details later. Okay. Okay. Then the limit of the x, y, z is minus infinity to plus infinity. This is the limit, minus infinity to plus infinity. And in case of r limit is 0 to infinity, because negative of the particularly negative value is not possible for r, because r is the magnitude. And in case of theta, the limit is basically 0 to 360 degree. 0 to 360 degree. If we complete one circle, then we can say 360 degree. And another is, in case of radian, we can use 0 to 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi. So this is in degree and this is in radian. Okay. So these are the all about the coordinate system. Okay. And we can convert Cartesian to polar, polar to Cartesian. I will explain later about this. Okay. Then another thing is that in case of coordinate system, there are 4 quadrant. Say this is coordinate system, xy coordinate system. So in this case, this is first quadrant, this is second quadrant, and this is third, and this is fourth quadrant. Okay. So in case of a component, if we draw a vector component, then this coordinate system is important. I will explain this coordinate later. Now let's go to the second segment of the video. Second segment was about quantities. Okay, so in our daily life, we have to use some quantities for measurement of something. So in this case, say for example, time or mass of an object, or length, or weight. Okay, weight. So all are quantities. We can divide these quantities into two parts. First is vectors. Okay, first is vectors, and second is scalar quantities. So vector quantities are to explain, need to explain magnitude and direction. So magnitude and direction is important here. Say for example, one of student say asks anyone, say, where is the library of Bracu library or particularly canteen, then you have to just answer that like that, say 10 meter away from that person, 10 meter away, but which direction? So direction is important in this case, because we can draw a circle with radius 10 meter, but where is the exact position of the library? Okay, so if you try to just give the exact position of the library, we have to just give the direction also. So that's why in case of vector, we have to explain magnitude and direction to basically to describe the vectors. Okay, so these are the procedure of the, in case of vector we need magnitude and direction, and in case of scalar just magnitude is important. Okay, say time, in case of time, say it's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock basically describe the magnitude of an quantity. So that's why this is scalar quantity. But in case of weight, if we try to explain the weight of an object, so weight of an object, say like 12 kg. Okay, 12 kg. But you have to give the direction, because weight is always downward due to gravity. Weight is downward. So that's why we have to give the quantity, a magnitude 12, and also direction downward for a weight. So weight is a uh, vector quantity. Okay, so these are the quantities, vectors and scalar. Another example is that, say you're moving rightward 10 meter, then downward 2 meter, leftward 10 meter, and upward 2 meter. Now the thing is that the question is, what is your distance cover, and also what is the displacement. So in this case, distance is total distance covered by you. So 10 to 10 to, which is 24. 24 meter is the distance. But in case of displacement, so displacement is the basically difference of the final and initial position. So the initial position is here, final position is also here. So initial position and final position are same. So that's why displacement is 0. So here displacement is a vector quantity and distance is a scalar quantity. Okay, so here the answer is 24 meter for distance, but for displacement answer is 0. Now the thing is that vector doesn't follow the normal mathematical rule, but scalar follow the normal mathematical rule. Say if 4 and 7 is given, then you can say the sum of these two gives 11. Okay, but in case of vector, if 4 vector and if you add 4 vector or 7 vector, or particularly 2 vector, then the answer may be the difference of these two, say -3 to 11. So between this, either -3 or 11, or between these two will be the result in case of vector. Okay, so vector doesn't follow the normal mathematical rule. Okay, okay, so this is the vector quantity and scalar quantity. Then next is, how can we draw a vector and also write down a vector. Say a vector. So in case of a vector, we have to write down the letter A, then we have to give an arrow at the top of the letter. So this is the representation of a vector, or writing of a vector. And how can we write the magnitude of a vector? Okay, in case of magnitude of a vector, we can write down just only letter, capital letter A, or you can give the modulus sign. Okay, modulus sign. So this modulus sign of this vector represent the magnitude of this vector A, and also just only letter describe the magnitude of this vector A. Okay. Now in case of drawing, how can we draw a vector? So this is the drawing. In case of drawing, say a vector. Okay. So there are two parts. First, this part is tail, and this part is head. So, and the length of the arrow gives the magnitude, say 7, 5, 6. Okay, so this length represents the magnitude, and this head sign, head of this arrow, basically direction of the arrow describe the direction of the vector. Okay, okay, then vector addition and subtraction. How can we add vectors or subtract vectors? Okay, so here the simple thing is that we have to follow a particular rule, which is called head to tail law. Okay, head to tail law. So in case of head to tail law, say we are trying to add vector A with vector B. So in this case, if we keep vector A same, so this is vector A remains same, then we have to add the tail of second vector to the head of the first vector, and just keep the direction and magnitude same. Okay, so I think this vector and this vector is same, just the replace of this vector here, so b vector. Then if we draw a third vector from first vector tail to second vector head, so this gives the addition of these two vectors. So this is a plus b. Okay, this is a plus b. Okay, then I think you can easily add more than two vector also. Okay, say a b c is given, then just if we add another vector c here, then this is the resultant vector a plus b plus c. Okay? So this is the procedure, how can we add two vectors. But in case of subtraction, how can we subtract two vectors? say a minus b, a minus b. So in this case, subtraction is also one kind of addition, because if we add minus b vector with a vector, which is equivalent to a minus b. So what is minus b vector? How can we draw minus b? Say b is given here.
স্যার
Say b is
ওইটার
given.
স্যার ডাইরেকশনটা উল্টায় দিব।
Okay, so basically this is vector minus b. Okay, so just only direction is opposite. Then this is the resultant vector a minus b. So a remains same, then this is minus b. So if we draw a third vector from first vector 12 to second vector here, so this is a minus b. Okay, this is a minus b. So this is particularly addition and subtraction of vector. Now let's go to the multiplication of vector. So multiplication is possible, say either scalar to vector multiplication and vector to vector multiplication. So in case of scalar multiplication, say vector a is given. Now if we multiply this vector by a scalar quantity 2, so in this case just only change is the change in length, okay, but direction remains same. Okay, in this case direction remains same. So the direction of this 2a vector and also a vector is same, just only length is double here. Okay, so this is the length first case and this is the length in second case. Okay, so multiplication, in case of multiplication, just length of the vector will be increase. Okay, say 2 times, 3 times, or 5 times. Okay, depending on the multiplication of the scalar quantity. Okay, so this is the multiplication of the scalar quantity, but how can we multiply vector with vector? Say a vector multiplication with b vector. So in this case, two types of multiplication possible. One is dot product a dot b, and another is a cross b. I will explain this later, basically in second lecture. Okay, the multiplication of two vector. Then another topic is unit vector. This is basically third segment of lecture video. So unit vector. So what is unit vector? Anyone have any idea about this unit vector? Okay. So for one word, we can say magnitude 1. Magnitude of n vector. If the magnitude of n vector is 1, then we can say this vector is a unit vector. Okay. So magnitude is 1. In this case, we can say one unit vector, and also we can find out a unit vector of a particular vector. Say a vector is given. So the unit vector of this vector a is just written by just like that. Okay, cap of a, this is unit vector a, is equal to magnitude of this vector a. So vector divided by its magnitude gives the unit vector of that vector. Okay, say b vector is given. So in this case, we can say the unit vector of this b vector is b cap is equal to vector b divided by magnitude of this vector. Okay, and I think if you find out the magnitude of this vector, the magnitude is 1. Okay, so this is basically the unit vector. Okay, unit vector. And another thing is that in case of two-dimensional or three-dimensional coordinate system, there are 3 unit vectors, which is I, unit vector I along the direction of x, unit vector j along the direction of y, and unit vector k along the direction of z. Okay, and the magnitude of these unit vectors are 1. Okay, magnitude of this unit vector is I, j, and also magnitude of unit vector k is equal to 1. Okay, is equal to 1. Okay, so these are the mainly unit vectors, because these unit vectors are important to describe a vector, because we can write down a vector a like that, a equal to 3i plus 5j, 3i plus 5j. So in this case, we can say just along the x-axis, a vector has component x component along the x-axis, which is 3 times of the unit vector I, and in case of y-axis, 5 times of the unit vector j. Okay, So this is vector A. So these are the mainly three lecture parts of lecture video 1. In next part, I will explain basically next class I will explain multiplication of vectors and also the coordinate system, conversion of the coordinate system, and component of a vector. How can we find out the component? Already component is given here. This is ax and here is ay. Okay, I will explain it details in next class. Okay, do you have any question in
No,
this?
No, sir.
no, sir.
Okay, so in next class I will explain the second part and also will solve some problems related to this vectors. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now any type of question. Okay, anyone
Sir.
here from outside our country? Okay, no one. হ্যাঁ স্বপ্নিল।
স্যার আমরা নেক্সট ভিডিওতে একটা ইয়েতে দেখছিলাম স্যার, এই
হুম,
আমরা যে
হুম,
পড়ছিলাম স্যার থিওরাম অফ রিজলভ পার্টস এর কতগুলা থিওরাম, ওগুলা কি স্যার
হুম, হুম।
জরুরি?
না না না, ওগুলো ইম্পর্টেন্ট নাই, ওগুলো শুধু তোমাদের হয়তো বা ওই বিইউএক্স এর কিছু এমসিকিউ এর জন্য হয়তো ইম্পর্টেন্ট হবে, ঠিক আছে। আর এমনিতে প্রবলেম সলভিং এর জন্য তোমাদের ওরকম কোনো মিড টার্মে বা ফাইনালে আসবে না। মানে তোমাদের যেটা ডিরাইভ করাইছে এখানে হয়তো বা ডিরাইভ করাইছে যে হাউ ক্যান ইউ ফাইন্ড আউট দা কি বলে পার্টিকুলারলি area of a triangle, not triangle, area of a square মনে হয় এরকম কোন একটা কিছু
হ্যাঁ
দেখাইতে হয়। তো ওগুলো ইম্পর্টেন্ট না আসলে, ওগুলো তোমাদের জাস্ট থাকবে বেসিক্যালি এমসিকিউ টাইপ কোশ্চেন and problem solving. Okay, so assignment and final and midterm যেটা থাকবে টোটালি প্রবলেম সলভিং সেট, আর হচ্ছে টাইম কুইজ, মেনলি গ্রেডেড কুইজ এন্ড পপ কুইজ, এটা থাকবে হচ্ছে এমসিকিউ টাইপ কোশ্চেন, এবং এমসিকিউ তোমাদের প্রবলেম সলভিং এর মতো কিছু থাকবে আর কি।
স্যার।
ওকে, তো এখানে আরেকটা বিষয় হলো ফার্স্টের দিকে যেটা হয় ম্যাক্সিমামই তোমরা ওই ডেডলাইন গুলো করো না, ফলো করো না। তো সেক্ষেত্রে আসলে এটা আসলে টোটালি কিন্তু আমার যদি একটা কোর্স হইতো সেক্ষেত্রে হয়তো বা কনসিডার করা যেত, বাট তোমাদের কিন্তু সেকশন হলো 12, 13 বা এরকম অনেকগুলো সেকশন আছে। তো টোটাল সেকশনের সবাই যদি মিস করো সেক্ষেত্রে হয়তো বা এক্সটেন্ড করা যায়, বাট পার্টিকুলার একটা সেকশনের জন্য কিন্তু ডেডলাইন এক্সটেন্ড করা যায় না। আর আরেকটা বিষয় হলো পার্টিসিপেটরি কুইজ গুলোতে কিন্তু জাস্ট অ্যাটেম্প করলেই হচ্ছে তোমাদের, ওইখানে কিন্তু আমি কোনটা ভুল হচ্ছে বা কোনটা কারেক্ট হচ্ছে এটা দেখার অপশন থাকে না আসলে, ওটাও দেখিও না আমরা। জাস্ট তোমরা ট্রাই করছো নিজে থেকে দেখে, যেটা মনে হয়েছে যে ওটাই করছো, এবং অ্যাটেম্প যেহেতু 3-4টা থাকতেছে, তো ওই অনুযায়ী তোমরা কারেক্ট করে বুঝতে পারতেছো যে কোন জায়গায় ভুল হয়েছে। তো ওইটা করে ওইটাই দেখলেই হবে। আর আমরা আসলে ডিটেলস দেখি না। তো যদি ডেট নাই আনসার করো তখন তো মার্ক দেওয়ার কিছু থাকে না, বাট যদি তোমরা আনসার করে ভুল হয় ওটার জন্য মার্ক পাওয়া সমস্যা নেই, পার্টিসিপেটরি কুইজটা এভাবে কনসিডার করা হয়। আর গ্রেডেড কুইজ তো তোমাদের থাকবেই, ওটা পার্টিসিপেট করতেই হবে, ওটার মেকআপ হবে না। যেহেতু তোমাদের যদি অনেক ইমার্জেন্সি পড়ে যায় সেক্ষেত্রে একটা অপশন থাকতেছে, সেটা হলো 4টা হলে 3টা কনসিডার করবো, 5টা হলে 4টা কনসিডার করবো আর কি। আর ল্যাবের জন্য তোমাদের 7 ডেজ এর মতো একটা ডেডলাইন থাকবে। আর পপ কুইজের জন্য 7 ডেজ, বাট ওই টাইম কুইজটা তোমার হয়তো বা একদিনের জন্য থাকবে আর কি, বা গ্রেডেড কুইজটা। আর এমনিতে জাস্ট আই উইল ট্রাই টু রিমেন অ্যাক্টিভ ইন স্ল্যাক ম্যাক্সিমাম টাইম। তো যদি কোনো প্রবলেম ফেস করো স্ল্যাকে আমাকে নক করবা। আমি এই ক্লাস শেষ হওয়ার পরে যারা ইনফরমেশন গুলো দিছো বিউএক্স এ, আমি ওটা অ্যাড করে নেওয়ার ট্রাই করব, মানে অ্যাড করে দিব আর কি, ইনভাইটেশন দিয়ে দিব। আর এমনিতেও তুমি মেল করতে পারো কোনো প্রবলেম ফেস করলে, অথবা আমি দেখি তোমাদের স্ল্যাক চ্যানেলে না আমার পার্সোনাল নাম্বার দিয়ে দিব, যদি কোনো প্রবলেম ফেস করে ইমিডিয়েটলি আমি হয়তো ট্রাই করবো রেসপন্স করার জন্য। ওকে, সো আর কারো যদি কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকে। ওকে, সো যেহেতু ফার্স্ট ক্লাস, তো এর জন্য হয়তো বা আমরা তোমাদের প্রবলেমও নাই, কোনো নাই। সো ডিটেলস হয়তো তুমি যে ভিডিওগুলো দেখো দেন কোশ্চেন আনসার করতে কোশ্চেন করতে পারো। তো তাহলে আমরা নেক্সট ক্লাসে ডিটেলস আলোচনা করবো। ওকে।
ওকে
ওকে স্যার।
Okay.
আসসালামু
আসসালামু
আলাইকুম।
আলাইকুম।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম স্যার।
Welcome.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম স্যার।